SLT Fibre and experience the power of fibre technology. Sri Lanka's only super fast internet connection. SLT Fibre. Call 1212 now.
Good evening. In your headlines tonight, unwarranted and unacceptable as international criticism and condemnation mount over appointment of Major General Shavendra Silva, Sri Lanka's Ministry of Foreign Affairs react. Safeguard sovereignty. Patriotic professionals call all of Sri Lanka to take seriously the responsibility to the nation.
Now, what right has got a foreign country to get involved in the internal affairs of a country?
No hindrance to proceed. Supreme Court rejected 3 petitions against the death penalty. Deputy Speaker informs Parliament. Today's PSC hearing, President's 3-member committee reveals more shortcomings prior to Easter attacks.
There was a clear lapse from the people who are responsible.
All this and much more coming up tonight on First at 9, this Tuesday, the 20th of August 2019.
Nava Lifebuoy Cool Fresh සහ Lemon Fresh Menthol සහ Lemon සාරයෙන් දහදිය ගඳ ඇති කරන සැඟවුණු විස බීජ වලින් ආරක්ෂා කර ඔබව fresh කරයි. විස බීජ off, fresh එක on.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to First at 9, bringing to you news from across Sri Lanka and around the world tonight. I'm Indivari Amwat. On your top story tonight, the appointment of Major General Shavendra Silva as Sri Lanka's commander of the army continued to draw attention as foreign nations and international agencies went on to express concerns today as well, given allegations of international human rights and humanitarian law violations. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet said that the appointment compromises Sri Lanka's commitment to promote justice and accountability in the context of Human Rights Council Resolution 30/1, while European nations said the appointment sends a worrying message to victims and survivors of the war. However, Sri Lanka's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement this evening in response to the comments, saying foreign entities trying to influence the decisions and internal administrative processes of public service promotions in Sri Lanka is unwarranted and unacceptable.
President Maithripala Sirisena's appointment of Major General Shavendra Silva as Sri Lanka's 23rd Commander of the Army yesterday came under a barrage of criticism. The US Embassy in Sri Lanka immediately issued a statement expressing deep concern over the appointment, saying it undermines Sri Lanka's international reputation and commitments to promote justice and accountability, especially at a time when the need for reconciliation and social unity is paramount. The Tamil National Alliance later voiced deep dismay by the latest appointment by President Sirisena, stating it was a serious affront to the Tamil people. In this backdrop, the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet issued a statement today highlighting that Major General Shavendra Silva's appointment as Army Commander severely compromises Sri Lanka's commitment to promote justice and accountability in the context of Human Rights Council Resolution 30/1. She pointed out that it also sets back security sector reform and is likely to impact Sri Lanka's ability to continue contributing to UN peacekeeping efforts. The delegation of the European Union then issued a communique saying, quote, "We fully share the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet's serious concerns about the appointment given the allegations of grave human rights and humanitarian law violations against the army commander." The delegation of the European Union then issued a communique saying, quote, "We fully share the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet's serious concerns about the appointment given the allegations of grave human rights and humanitarian law violations against the army commander," unquote. The EU statement went on to say that the promotion calls into question Sri Lanka's commitment to the UN Human Rights Council as recently as March 2019 to ensure justice and accountability. The EU added that the move sends a worrying message to victims and survivors of the war. Meanwhile, the executive director of the organization, dubbed International Truth and Justice Project, Yasmin Suka, issuing a statement on the appointment of Major General Silva, said that the Sri Lankan president's decision is immensely damaging to the country and marks the end of any reconciliation process. She said, quote, "I very much hope Sri Lanka's allies will now take a principled step and ensure Major General Shavindra Silva is not granted a visa to travel abroad even on official duty," unquote. However, Sri Lanka's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement this evening in relation to the comments made on Major General Shavindra Silva's appointment, insisting that the appointment is a sovereign decision by the head of state. The Foreign Affairs Ministry communique pointed out that foreign entities trying to influence decisions and internal administrative processes of public service promotions in Sri Lanka is unwarranted and unacceptable. The statement went on to say that articulating a position of concern based on allegations is regrettable and contrary to the principles of natural justice espoused by all responsible members of the international community.
Meanwhile, convener of the Patriotic Professionals Forum, Nalaka Godaheva, stressed that Sri Lanka has a responsibility to safeguard the country's sovereignty from being influenced by various forces, including foreign nations. Speaking to First at 9 today, Dr. Godaheva also criticized concerns raised by the US Embassy in Sri Lanka and the Tamil National Alliance over Major General Shavindra Silva's appointment as the new army commander.
The tweet sent by the American embassy here criticizing the appointment of the commander of the army. Now, what right has got a foreign country to get involved in the internal affairs of a country? Usually, if that happens in another country, the government would have taken action against the ambassador. President Premadasa in 1991, for example, expelled British High Commissioner from Sri Lanka for interfering into Sri Lanka's affairs. We saw a similar situation in 2009 when President Mahinda Rajapaksa told the foreign ministers of France and UK, Mr. Bernard Kouchner and Mr. David Miliband, he said, "I'm the leader of a sovereign country and I execute only the will of my people." That is how our leaders have acted in the past. It is ridiculous that the US Embassy is citing the United Nations Human Rights Council reports as credible evidence. Now, it is the very USA that withdrew from the Human Rights Council in January 2018, saying that UNHRC is a biased organization. When the Human Rights Commissioner submitted a report to the Human Rights Council on the 15th September 2015, based on inaccurate evidence claiming that the Sri Lankan forces committed war crimes, instead of challenging that, the Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka, Mr. Mangala Samaravira, appreciated that report and accepted it. So today, when American ambassador uses that arguments against Sri Lanka, in a way, we have to blame only the Sri Lankan government for discrediting our security forces. We also saw Mr. Sumandiran, the deputy leader of TNA, tweeting saying that it's an insult to the Tamil community that General Shavindra Silva has been appointed as the commander. We wonder, where was Mr. Sumandiran and his TNA bosses when LTT was holding more than 290,000 innocent Tamil civilians as a human shield during the last phases of the war? So when Mr. Sumandiran says the appointment of Lieutenant General Shavindra Silva to Army Commander position is an insult to the Tamil people, I have to say it is you, sir, who has forgotten the fact that these people saved your people, your brothers and sisters.
Deputy Speaker Ananda Kumarasiri informed Parliament today that the Supreme Court has rejected 3 petitions submitted against the implementation of the death penalty. A private member's bill to repeal the death penalty was tabled in Parliament on the 1st of this month by MP Banduralal Bandarigoda. On the 9th of August, however, the Supreme Court dismissed 3 petitions filed in favour of the private member's bill. The dismissed petitions were filed by 3 parties, including Professor Gunaratna from Nugegoda and Attorney-at-Law Dr. Radhika Kumaraswamy, citing the Attorney General as respondent. The petitions had pointed out that the provisions of private members' bill do not violate the Constitution and sought the Supreme Court to deliver an order stating that this proposal can be passed with a simple majority in Parliament. Chairman of the three-member committee appointed by the President to probe Easter Sunday attacks, Supreme Court Justice Vijit Malalgoda, emphasised that it is evident that there have been several shortcomings on the part of relevant officials who could have easily prevented the attacks. Today, members of the three-member committee appointed by the President appeared before the Parliamentary Select Committee investigating the Easter attacks to reveal some of their findings. They also discussed some of the key recommendations made in their final report to the head of state regarding national security.
අපි කවුරුත් විශ්වාස කරනවා ගරු අධිකරණයේ ස්වාධීනත්වය සම්බන්ධයෙන්. ඒ නිසා මම විශ්වාස කරනවා මා මෙතන ඉදිරියේ දෙන සාක්ෂි දීම අධිකරණයේ ස්වාධීනත්වයට කොහෙත්ම තර්ජනයක් නොවේ කියලා. අගවිනිසුතුමාගෙන විමසලා එතුමාගෙන අවසරය ඇතුවයි මම මෙතන පැමිණියේ. මොකද අපි අතර සුළු පසුබෑමක් ඇති වුණා. මොකද යම්කිසි කමිටුවකට පත් කරලා ඊට පස්සේ ඒ මත නැවතත් තව තැනකට සාක්ෂි දෙන්න වීම නිසා යම් හේකින් ඉදිරියේදී ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨාධිකරණ විනිසුරුවරුන් එමෙහි තනතුරු බාර ගැනීමට මැලිවීමක් සිදු වෙයිද කියලා.
When we asked you about the recommendations, you said it's not fair to say it without the other two also being there.
There were observations, there were recommendations. There were certain observations with regard to the conduct of certain police officers. We have submitted that the conduct of these officers are to be investigated. So we have not given any specific recommendation or specific observation with regard to one individual.
Is it possible for you to tell us whether you recommended investigation with regard to 1, 2, 3 police officers or more numbers of police officers?
More number of police officers, including the officers from the local police station. Because the alterations some police officers have done, we saw it to our eyes. We confronted those entries they have changed in certain police stations. We immediately, those were in our mind.
Okay.
ඔබතුමාලගේ ප්‍රධාන නිර්දේශ ආදිය පිළිබඳව යමක් අපිට අපි දැනුවත් කිරීමේ.
දුටුව දේවල් තමයි 21 වෙනි දින සිදු අතපසුවීම. උදාහරණයක් හැටියට කොච්චිකඩේ පිපිරීමට සම්බන්ධ පොලිස් ස්ථානය ෆෝෂෝ පොලිසිය, වෙරළබඩ පොලිසිය. වෙරළබඩ පොලිසියට පොලිස්පතිතුමාගේ අර FNA කියලා සටහනක් තිබුණා. ඒ FNA සටහනෙන් පස්සේ කොහොම හරි කොළඹ දිසාව බාර ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ නියෝජ්‍ය පොලිස්පතිවරයා යම්කිසි ලිපියක් සකස් කරා. නමුත් ඒ ලිපිය වෙරළබඩ පොලිසියට හම්බුනේ 21 වෙනිදා හවස 4ට. කියන්නේ සිද්ධිය සිවිලා ඉවරයි. ඒ සිද්ධියට වෙච්ච තැන ඉඳලා තමයි කොච්චිකඩේ ස්ථානාධිපති පොලිසියට ගිහිල්ලා ඒක බලන්නේ. එතකොට ඒ වැනි දෙයක් කටාන පොලිස් ස්ථානයේ සිදු වෙලාම නැහැ. කටාන පොලිසියේ ස්ථානාධිපතිවරයාට ඒ සටහනක් ලැබෙනවා අප්‍රේල් 13 වෙනිදා. ඔහු 20 වෙනිදා තමයි ඒක සාකච්ඡා කරා කියලා කියන්නේ. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ ඒක සාකච්ඡා කරාද කියලා. බුද්ධි අංශවල ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වය සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි නිර්දේශයන් කරා පනතකින් එය ස්ථාපිත කළ යුතු බවත් ඒකම ඊට වඩා වගකිය යුතු ආකාරයකට බුද්ධි අංශ ක්‍රියා කළ යුතු බව අපි නිර්දේශ කළා. මද්‍රසා පාසල් සම්බන්ධ වර්ධනය සහ එවැනි දේවල් සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි නිර්දේශ කරා. තව එකක් ගා එක්ස්ප්ලෝසිව් සම්බන්ධයෙන්. මොකද මේකදී අපිට තවත් දැනගන්න ලැබිච්ච දෙයක් තමයි මෙතන පාවිච්චි කරලා තිබුණේ යූරියා නයිට්‍රේට්. ඇමරිකාවේ ලෝක වෙළඳ මධ්‍යස්ථානයේ පිපිරීමේදීත් ඒක තමයි පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ තවත් අවස්ථා කීපයක IS සංවිධානයේ පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙනවා. මේක ඉතාමත්ම පහසුවෙන් සකස් කළ හැකි දෙයක්. ඒකට ඒ නිසා අපි කිව්වා ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් පවා මීට වඩා යම් නියාමනයක් සිදු කළ යුතු බවට.
ඔබතුමා සඳහන් කරුවා බුද්ධි සතුරු පිළිබඳව මීට වඩා වගකීමකින් කටයුතු කිරීමට කරයි කියලා නිර්දේශ කරුවායි කියලා.
අපි දුටුව දේ තමයි නිසි ආකාරයට බුද්ධි තොරතුරු ගලණය කිරීම ඩිසමිනේට් වෙලා නැහැ කියන එක. ඉදිරියේදී එවැනි දෙයක් වළක්වන්න අපි නිර්දේශ ඉදිරිපත් කරේ. ඒකයි රාජ්‍ය බුද්ධි සේවය කොයි ආකාරයට පනතකින් ස්ථාපිත කරලා ඉන්න අනතුරුව නිසි ස්වාධීන බුද්ධික සේවයක් ස්ථාපිත කළ යුතු බව තමයි අපි නිර්දේශ කළේ. අපි අපේ වාර්තාවට අපිට ඇතුල් කරන්න සිද්ධ වුණා. ඇනෙක්ෂර් එකක් හැටියට නැගෙනහිර පළාත බාර පොලිස් නියෝජ්‍ය පොලිස්පතිතුමාගේ කට උත්තරේ. ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ නියෝජ්‍ය පොලිස්පති. එතුමා කිසිම දෙයක් දන්නේ නැහැ. එතුමා කිව්වේ ප්‍රදේශය ඉතාමත්ම සාමකාමී කියලා. කිසිම දෙයක් සිදු වෙන්නේ. එවැනි උසස් ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ පොලිස් නිලධාරියෙක්ගෙන් මේ වගේ ප්‍රකාශයක් අහන්න ලැබීමත් මේ විමතියට කාරණාවක්.
ක්‍රියාකලාපය ගැන ලැබ්සස් තිබුණා කියලා සොයා බලන්න කියලා කිව්වනේ නිලධාරීන්. ඒතර පොලිස් නිලධාරීන් පමණද ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ නිලධාරීන් ගැනත් කියුණාද?
ඔව් ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යාංශයේ නිලධාරීන් සම්බන්ධයෙන්ුත් තිබුණා.
මතකයෙන් කියන්න පුළුවන්ද කවුරු ගන්ද කියලා. ඒකට කියන එකේ මොකක් ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවද?
ඔව් මේ මෙතන මාධ්‍යයත් ඉන්න හින්දා අපි එහෙම කියන එක මම හිතන්නේ හොඳයි කියලා.
අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සිකියුරිටි සෙන්සිටිව් ඒවා තමයි මාධ්‍ය ඉදිරියේ කියන්නේ නැත්තේ.
නමුත් මම හිතනවා ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් තව තැනක පරීක්ෂණ පැවැත්වෙන නිසා අධිකරණයෙන් නැදුවෙත් මේක තියෙන නිසා ඒක මම ඉච්චර හරි නෑ.
20 වෙනිදා හවස වෙනකොට ස්ථිරවම නිශ්චිතවම බුද්ධි තොරතුරක් ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. අද මේ වෙලාවේ ඉඳලා හෙට වෙනකම් ඇතුළත ගහනවා කියලා. 10ට වගේ. ඉතින් අර ඇනලයිස් කරේ ඉන්නේ ආරෝමිය කතන්දර මම හිතන්නේ ඒ වෙනකොට අපිට බලපාන්නේ නැහැ. මේ තොරතුරු මතාවට ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න තියෙනවා. පැය 16ක් තුන හොඳට.
අපි හිතමු 9 වෙනිදා වෙනකොට ඒක රෝ ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් එකක් කියලා කෙනෙක් කියනවනේ. නමුත් 16 වෙනිදා වෙනකොට කාත්තන්කුඩියේ බෝම්බයක් පුපුරලා 17 හවස තමයි කම්ප්ලේන් එක පොලිසියට ලැබෙන්නේ. 18 වෙනිදා හවස 6 වෙනකොට සම්පූර්ණ සිද්ධිමාලාව හොයාගෙන ඉවරයි. කවුද කරේ කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ කොහෙන්ද ආවේ සියලුම තොරතුරු 18 වෙනිදා වෙනකොට හොයාගෙන ඉවරයි. සිද්ධියෙන් මිය ගිය සහ සිද්ධියට සම්බන්ධලා වෙච්ච කට ඒ නම් ටික ඔක්කොම අපි ගාව 18 වෙනිදා වෙනකොට තිබිලා තියෙනවා. ඇයි ඒ වෙලාවේ ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ? There was a clear lapse from the people who are responsible.
Meanwhile, 2 Maulavis suspected to have received terror training with leader of the National Tawhid Jamaat organization, Zaharan Hashim, were arrested today. Police spokesperson SP Ruan Gunasekara said that the suspects were arrested by the Terrorism Investigations Department in Hettipula and Nikavaratia. According to police, the suspects were trained in Nuwara. Also in tonight's news, Japanese representative for peacebuilding, rehabilitation and reconstruction Yasushi Akashi commended Sri Lanka on the relentless efforts to strengthen communal peace and harmony while successfully battling extremism. The Japanese special envoy made this remark when he called on President Maithripala Sirisena at his official residence today. Akashi went on to say that Sri Lanka is an example for other nations in efforts toward communal peace. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and Japanese Ambassador Akira Sugiyama also attended the meeting. Yesterday, Yasushi Akashi was presented with the Sri Lanka Ratna Award, the first ever time that the highest national honour was conferred on a non-national, recognizing his distinguished and exceptional service rendered towards Sri Lanka. President Maithripala Sirisena chaired a discussion on the need for a regulated procedure when issuing explosive materials. Attention was also drawn to implement preventive measures against using explosives in illegal quarries and fishing, as well as to advise or rather on the adverse effects on environment. During the meeting, President Sirisena advised relevant authorities to distribute explosives in a manner it would not impede national security. The President also emphasized the importance of effective coordination between institutions that are authorized to issue licenses to distribute explosives and issue directives to issue notices on the formulation of the new procedure to relevant institutions. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe points out that Sri Lanka's outstanding debt commitment is the greatest burden and challenge the country is encountering today. Addressing a function in Colombo today, the Premier said that Sri Lanka will have to come out of the debt trap in order to achieve greater development.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe declared open the newly built Sri Lanka Korea National Vocational Training Institute this morning.
අපි 2015 මේක බාරගත්තැද්දී ප්‍රශ්න ගණනාවක් ආර්ථිකයේ තිබුණා ණයක් ගන්න බැරි තත්ත්වයක් තිබුණේ ඒත් ආර්ථිකය ස්ථාවරය කරා ඒ නිසා අද අපිට කියන්නේ ඉහළ මධ්‍යම ආදායම් ආර්ථිකයක් කියලා ඒක පුද්ගල ආදායම ඩොලර් 4000කට වැඩි රටක් සතුටටපත් වෙන්න ඕනේ අපි එතෙන්ට ආවේ කියලා හිතේ තියෙන ලෝකෙට තමයි ඔබ යන්න ඕනේ ඒ අභියෝගය අපි බාරගමු ඒකයි අද රටේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න අද තියෙන ත්‍රස්තවාදයක්වත් ආගමක් භාෂාව නෙමෙයි ඊට වඩා තියෙන්නේ අපිට ණය ගෙවලා ණය බරින් ඉවත් වෙනවද නැද්ද නැත්නම් කිසි දවසක ජාතික අභිමානයක් අපිට තියෙන්නේ හැමදාම ණය ගන්න ඕනේ හැමදාම හිඟා කන්න බෑ.
The General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party parliamentarian Dayasiri Jayasekara is of the view that presidential hopeful of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, will need the support of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party in order to secure victory at the presidential polls. He expressed these views to media following a public gathering in Panduasnuwara today.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය තමයි තීරණාත්මක බලවේගයේ මේ මැතිවරණේ. ඒ බලවේගයේ ශක්තිය අපි අනාගතේ පෙන්වන්නම්. ඔය අනාථ වෙලා කියන කට්ටියටම අපව සිද්ධ වෙයි අපි කාටම ඇවිල්ලා අපේ සහයෝගය ඉල්ලන්න. ඒ නිසා මම හිතන්නේ ඔකට අපි කලබල වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කාලේ ඉතිහාසෙත් ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි කී හිටියේ. ඔය ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා නෙවෙයිනේ. ඔය කතාව කියන්නේ ඔය දේශපාලනේ විනාශ වෙලා ඉන්න කට්ටිය. ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයාට උවමනා කරලා තියෙනවා එතුමා ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂක විදියට අපේ සහයෝගය එතුමාට අවශ්‍ය වෙලා තියෙනවා. අනික් කටට අවශ්‍ය නැතුව ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයත් පොජන පෙරමුණත් එකතු වෙනවා නම් එකතු වීම තීරණය කරන්නේ අධිකාරී ජනාධිපතිතුමත් මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ජනාධිපතිතුමත් එකට එකතු වෙලා ඒ වගේම අපේක්ෂක විදියට ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා ඉන්නවා නම් එතුමාට උවමනා නම් අපිත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන්න. එතුමා තීන්දුව කරයි. නැතුව අහලපාලේ ඉන්න කට්ටියත් එක්ක අපිට කතා කරන්න අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නැහැ. මේ එකමුතුව බිඳින්න තමයි ඔය පුවත්පත් සාකච්ඡා තියතිය බයින කට්ටියට උවමනා වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
A special meeting is underway between Deputy Leader of the United National Party Minister Sajith Premadasa and party backbenchers to discuss matters relating to naming the UNP presidential candidate. Meanwhile, UNP provincial councillors from across the country reached a unanimous decision to support Minister Sajith Premadasa's candidacy in the presidential election during a meeting held with the Deputy Leader in Colombo today.
A meeting was held between the Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa, and UMP provincial councillors at Talwatugoda this evening. Out of 123 UMP provincial councillors across the country, 96 attended the meeting. Among the attendees was former Southern Provincial Councillor from National Freedom Front, Sujit Puthukumarana, as well as several MPs and ministers from the UMP. During the meeting, all 96 UMP provincial councillors reached a unanimous decision to support Minister Sajith Premadasa as the presidential candidate for the UMP.
සුදුසු වෙලාවට සුදුසු දේ වෙයි. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂේ පසු වෙනම මන්ත්‍රීලෙක් සමග සාකච්ඡාවක් කළා වගේද? කිහිප දෙනෙක් සමග නෙවෙයි හැමෝම එක සාකච්ඡා කරනවා. විශේෂයෙන්ම සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ පොහොට්ටුවේ මන්ත්‍රීවරු එක්ක.
ඒ හැමෝම ප්‍රකාශ කරේ ඒකමතිකවම ප්‍රකාශ කරේ සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමා ඊළඟ ජනාධිපතිවරණයේ ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයා වෙන්න ඕන කියන කාරණේ. මම හිතන්නේ ඒක කාටවත් පැහැදිලි. පුදුම වැඩේ කියන්නේ මේක තේරෙන්නේ නැති කීප දෙනෙක් තව ඉන්න එකයි.
A meeting was held between party leaders of the joint opposition and Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa this evening. The meeting was held at the official residence of opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa, leader of the Pivithura Heluerumaya, MP Udaya Gammampila, leader of the Jathika Nidahas Peramuna, MP Vimal Weerawansa and MP Pavitra Wannayarachchi representing the UPFA were among those who attended the meeting. Speaking to media following the meeting, parliamentarian Vimal Weerawansa said that discussions focused on the formation of a new alliance and a decision was reached to finalize its constitution as soon as possible, which will then be announced during the course of next month. The outgoing commander of the Sri Lanka Army, Lieutenant General Mahesh Senanayake, was promoted to the rank of general by President Maithripala Sirisena today. General Mahesh Senanayake formally retired from service on Sunday. He served as the 22nd commander of the Sri Lanka Army for over 2 years before stepping down from his position. Do stay with us for your business news after this short break. Welcome back. Taking you to business news. The Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka has taken legal action before the Fourth Magistrates Court against 4 stockbrokers over allegations of market manipulation, conspiracy to commit market manipulation and aiding and abetting with respect to the shares of Radiant Gems International PLC listed on the Colombo Stock Exchange during the period from 2nd to 9th of September of 2011. The Securities and Exchange Commission had taken these action on the 25th of July this year. The defendants are named as Lanka Kannangara, Farik Furkan, Kapila Senarat Bandara and Ravindra Mallavarachi. If found guilty, the defendants will be subjected to an imprisonment of up to 5 years or to a fine not less than 50,000 rupees and not exceeding 10 million rupees or to both penalties. And at the Colombo Stock Exchange, equities recovered today from a near two-week closing low in the previous session, led by financials and consumer staples. But trading volumes were light as investors waited for more clarity on the political front. The all-share price index ended 0.74% firmer at 5,912.46, while turnover stood at 383 million rupees. Here's a brief report on how market performed today.
Today, both the bond market and the stock market saw some positivity. In the bond market, reversing the selling interest, we saw some buying interest in the secondary market. Yield curve across the board, while the overall market witnessed moderate volumes ahead of tomorrow's weekly treasury bill auction. In the stock market, we saw the market rebound into positive territory on gains made by Ceylon Tobacco and John Keel's holdings.
We have your top international and sports news after this short break. Welcome back. In international news, India's second lunar module has begun orbiting the moon nearly a month after blasting off. Now, this launch of Chandrayaan-2 was on the 22nd of July, a week after the scheduled blast-off was halted due to a technical snag. India hopes the $145 million mission will be the first to land on the moon's south pole. That's all from us here tonight. Good night.